a new class in a different way for the first time, and some other things. And so I realized I wasn't relaxing and opening to the treatment. I was focusing my energy in this intense way on work. And so I feel like, you know, okay, that's what I did, and that's what I wanted to do. But I think that was part of the reason that the healing didn't occur right away, was because I was limiting it by blocking it with focusing the energy in a really intense way. Now, you know, one of the things we always tell practitioners when we're telling them how to treat is relax. You got to be relaxed when you treat. And I believe that like if somebody's going through some kind of a sickness, relaxing and resting, opening to the healing, that's a way to open in a further way and to allow it to occur right away. I've said before, because I just love this statement, Michael Beckwith put it in such a neat way: energy flows where our attention goes. Okay, where do we want our attention? Where do we want our energy? What do we want our life to reveal? That's what we need to focus on. And you know, I'm a pretty healthy person, and I'm grateful for that. But going through this process made me think, okay, I could be more grateful. You know, just grateful for every single thing that I can see. Grateful for my breathing. Grateful for my energy. And you know, the more we stay in gratitude, we're maintaining our good and we're opening to more good. Gratitude is, and how do you feel when you're grateful? Feel good, right? Feel happy. So, you know, being grateful is something I feel like I want to begin again and be grateful even more than ever before. I was also thinking about habits. You know, habits are sort of like the result of perpetual thinking in a certain way. Well, practicing gratitude, making that a habit, is a wonderful one to make sure, as you are grateful, it ensures more good coming to you. There's a book that somebody donated to the library by Ernest Holmes called Think Your Troubles Away. And there's a new version. I'm going to see if I can get Reverend Sue to order it for the bookstore. But it's by Ernest Holmes, and you know, he's just so good in the way he says things. And even though we know what he says it in another way, it hits you in a different way, and you can accept it at a different level. At least that's what happens for me. He says, the mind cannot contain that which it rejects. It cannot demonstrate that which it refuses to accept. Now, you know, this is like, well, yeah, sure. But think about it. Do we reject things unconsciously when somebody, we're treating for more money or something like that? But is part of us in our mind rejecting it and going, well, I don't know where it would come from. So, you know, we're kind of doing the opposite of the treatment. So the simple statement of thinking that the mind cannot contain that which it rejects, and it cannot demonstrate that which it refuses to accept. You know, in some of the classes, like Reverend Lacey's taught the prosperity ones, they'll say, so don't refuse anything that is offered to you this week. So how about a compliment? Gee, you look really good today. And you're kind of thinking, oh yeah, except my hair's kind of, you know, I mean, so what am I doing? In my head, I'm not accepting it. Or somebody wants to give us some money. Well, you don't have to do that. That's okay. So, you know, just thinking about how sometimes we just subtly sabotage ourselves. And, you know, our thinking is what keeps creating what we have in our life. So if I say, hey, I want a lot of money, but my mind keeps thinking, gee, you know, my paycheck's only this, and, you know, I keep resetting the limits in my mind. God law just says, okay, that's its job. Whatever you believe, that's what is going to happen. So, you know, thinking about, as they always say, what you're thinking about is so important. Ernest also reminds us that we may be carrying a memory of past limitation. Maybe we made what we feel was a mistake, and that is kind of like deep down in our consciousness and making us feel unworthy. You know, how could somebody who made this kind of mistake, or who made a lot of little mistakes, really be worthy to receive good? And he says, if this is the case, we should consciously discharge this idea, knowing that though all of us have made mistakes, there is still no power in the universe which wishes us ill. There is no power in the universe which wishes us ill. Our thought operates independently of conditions and has the possibility of transcending those conditions or those circumstances as they are now and causing new ones to be created. The one, Ernest says, the one who would rise above previous conditions, transcend impossible limitations, and create a better situation for himself must deliberately turn in his imagination and thought from the old order, and with a calm but flexible determination endeavor to contemplate only the good, the beautiful, and the true. He should refuse to admit into his consciousness any controversy or argument. I love it when I read these gems from Ernest. You know, he reminds us over and over again of the truth. There's no separation between us and God.